Hi, you're watching Summarized City. Today I'm going to explain an American thriller film called Prisoners. Ready? Keller Dover, Hugh Jackman, and his child Ralph are hunting deer. Ralph drops a buck as Keller presents the ruler's request, then grins favorably at the high schooler. On the commute home, Keller tells his child to constantly be prepared. An old RV drives past the Dover house. Later they discuss the family funds. Ralph asks why they don't lease the granddad's old condo. Keller says it is in too unfortunate condition. The family, Keller, his significant other Beauty, child and little girl stroll to a neighbor's home for Thanksgiving supper with their companions the Birches. The families live it up together. While the grown-ups cook, the children go out. Anna Dover bounces on the old RV stopped by the control. They understand somebody is inside and return to the Birch house. Franklin Birch, Terrence Howard, is a friendly man and plays a horrible trumpet. After supper, the younger 6-year-old girls take off to return to Anna's home to get her security whistle she should convey consistently. In a little while Keller understands the young ladies haven't returned and that the teenagers hadn't accompanied the two youthful ones. Keller looked through his own home without any result. Ralph gets back from looking additionally and makes reference to the RV from prior. Criminal investigator Loki, Jake Gyllenhaal, has Chinese food alone and talks with the server. His telephone hums. After a police chase, the white RV is found stopped external a corner store close to a lush region. At the point when dead, Loki, who heads the case, goes to go up against the RV's driver, Alex Jones. Paul Dano. Alex panics, attempts to hurry away, however collides with the trees. Alex is brought in to be interrogated, however it is found that he has the level of intelligence of a 10-year-old and seldom talks. Criminal investigator Loki goes to see Alex's auntie, Holly Jones, Melissa Leo, who raised him with his uncle after his folks passed on when he was 6. Alex's uncle ventured out from home a long time back after a homegrown question with his auntie. Alex goes through most evenings resting in the RV and doesn't have numerous things. The RV shows no measurable proof demonstrating the young ladies were effectively taken into or battled inside the RV, and Alex's low insight implies he could never have concealed such proof. Around evening time many workers search the forest requiring the young ladies. Loki comes to the Birch house and gets better photographs of their little girl. At the Dovers, Loki tells Elegance they finished the untruth identifier assessments they did. He inquires as to whether there was an explanation the young ladies took off. Elegance is tearful and says the young ladies were cheerful. Loki commits to track down the young lady. He welcomes Keller, who appears to be certain it should be the RV driver. Loki tells the Dovers the proof against Alex Jones is feeble and attempts to quiet him down. The polygraph trial of him demonstrate uncertain because of his low level of intelligence, and he over and over denies truly having seen the kids. As the police can't find proof against Alex, he will be delivered in 2 days. Loki requests that his captain hold Alex longer, however the senior declines. Loki refreshes him on the hunt. Loki interviews sex-guilty parties inside a 10-mile sweep of the young ladies' homes. Loki finds that a dad Patrick Dunn has a bound and embalmed body in a blockaded cellar. The body is wearing a roundabout emblem with a labyrinth-like plan. Father Dunn claims that he didn't have any idea who the man was, yet that in admission the man discussed killing 16 kids and furthermore conceded to having a conjugal debate. Father Dunn admits that he persuaded the man to come to his home, where he killed him to save the kids and is captured for homicide. The hunt of the forest and stream proceeds. Keller has found out when Alex is being delivered and goes after him in the police parking garage. He hears Alex say they didn't cry until I left them. However, nobody is adequately close to hear this to verify. Keller accepts this as verification that Alex took the young ladies. Skipper O'Malley lets Dover off with an advance notice and sends him home after a short talk with Loki. At the Jones house, Loki interviews Alex and Holly again about the parking garage episode. He takes steps to send the auntie to prison on the off chance that Alex tell the truth. He then leaves and stands before an old vehicle. Elegance is troubled. Keller gives her a narcotic to help her rest. He advises his child to be daring and adult and care for his mom, then goes out. That evening, Keller steals Alex at gunpoint while strolling his canine, and detains him in his dad's old deserted, overview flat. The following morning he shows Franklin Birch, the caught man bound with pipe tape. Birch is stunned as Keller begins addressing. Criminal investigator Loki explores past inexplicable missing kids cases. One is Barry Millen, a kid missing since age, quite a while back. A meeting with his mom shows her playing and replaying a VHS tape of him not long before his snatching. He talks with Father Dunn once more, in guardianship. Dunn says the man kidnapped kids in sunlight and took more than each in turn. Loki feels the data is pointless. The body isn't recognized by DNA or reports for someone who has gone missing. Keller over and over beats Alex for data, angered that the man won't get out whatever he did with the young ladies. During a candlelight vigil for the missing young ladies, analyst Loki sees a man acting dubious yet loses him in a pursuit. That night Birch watches the news thing on television about the man. They show a sketch and the following day he goes to see Dover and let him know there is another conceivable man. Loki and his chief, Captain O'Malley, squabbles over assets for the proceeding with Chase. Loki watches the video of Alex's interview. He gets a call tip. A bargain shop representative remembers him and states that he roll in every once in a while to look at youngsters' life-sized models and purchase kids' clothing. She vows to contact Loki on the off chance that he comes to the store once more. Franklin is overwhelmed with culpability and tells his better half Nancy, Viola Davis, what they have done and carries her to see Keller. Dover carries her to the loft where Alex is ruthlessly beaten, ridiculous and attached to the washroom floor. Stunned, she unfastens Alex and attempts to converse with him pleasantly, however he endeavors to get away. Dover gets him. Tied once more, Alex looks as Dover begins building something from compressed wood. Afterward, Dover then takes the Birches back to the loft. Keller has constructed a walled-in area around the bath in which he nails Alex. It is without any trace of light with the exception of a little PVC tube talk opening. Keller says something else he would kill the man, and moves the Birches to let him go. Franklin says it needs to stop, however does nothing when Nancy advises him to consider satisfaction. While the Birches' adolescent girl Eliza is in the shower, the abnormal man strolls quietly in their home. Later the hooded man goes into the Dover's house. Beauty listens to something and hops at bed. She tracks down an open window and accepts Anna had returned. Analyst Loki shows up, records her assertion of somebody coming in through the window. Effortlessness shows him the cellar, Keller's efficient studio. Loki sees a pack of lie and asks Beauty where Keller is. She says he is out searching for their girl. In the heavy storm, Loki follows Dover, however is made. Dover turns around from the loft and goes to a close-by alcohol store instead. Loki considers what he was doing nearby. Dover approaches with a jug and inquires as to why he is being followed. He says this is first beverage in quite a while. Loki urges Dover to deal with himself and his significant other. It has been 6 days. Dover blows up, however at that point returns home to rest. He dreams he sees Anna. Loki works at his PC. He peruses an old news chronicle of a self-destruction, which happened at 234 Campobello, a similar area Dover was close. The following day Keller torments Alex with substituting burning and freezing water from the shower head. Alex attempts to talk, yet Dover simply needs to hear where the young ladies are. Dover bows to ask. Loki shows up at the barricaded structure and enters the ground floor. He finds Dover claiming to rest on the floor. Dover provides the police officer with a short visit through the weak structure, and afterward his PDA rings with the store representative. The interloper has been spotted. The representative tells Loki the tag number, and he leaves rapidly. Loki goes up against Taylor at his home, sees he is odd and effectively cuffs him. He calls it in and looks through the house. The walls are shrouded in drawings of complicated labyrinths. In a back room, locked boxes are loaded up with labyrinth books, venomous snakes, and horrendous youngsters' clothing. At the police headquarters, both the Dovers and Birches distinguish clothing having a place with their kids from the containers, and Taylor admits to killing them. Taylor is sobbing while bound in the cross-examination room and draws a labyrinth. Loki looks for some time then, at that point, enters. He lets completely go and beats Taylor during a dressing, and different police rush in. Taylor figures out how to get one of the officials' firearm from his belt and ends it all. Back at the condo jail, Keller sits and discusses the master's request. At the police headquarters, the skipper rebukes Loki for the demise. Keller is drinking as Alex at last discussions and notices something about tracking down the young ladies in a labyrinth. Keller goes to the Jones home to apologize to Holly for going after Alex at the police headquarters. She welcomes him in and tells Dover her child passed on from malignant growth and empathized. Keller says he longs for Anna in a labyrinth. Holly likewise makes reference to her significant other kept snakes. A paper title catches Dover's eye, the report of Taylor's self-destruction. Captain O'Malley attempts to advise Loki to deal with it, better luck next time, and to track down a sweetheart. Loki goes to his workstation in a fury. In a heap of photographs, he sees an image of a labyrinth like the one Taylor was drawing. Back at Taylor's home, another cop uncovers the blood on the youngster's garments is subsequently observed to be pig's blood. Taylor is presently felt to be a phony executioner duplicating a book named The Imperceptible Man, which conspicuously includes labyrinths, particularly a round labyrinth, found in the O in the detainee's logo and is the labyrinth emblem worn by the body in Father Dunn's storm cellar, which Taylor was drawing while in care. Loki can't sort out how Taylor had the missing young lady's garments. He gets back to the Dovers' home and tracks down a little sock in the shrubberies. Somebody calls Beauty, and she enthusiastically tracks down Keller. Happiness Birch has been seen as meandering, sedated and is hospitalized. Keller attempts to scrutinize the little kid. Anna stays missing. In her medicated state, Bliss meanders aimlessly that Keller was there, giving individuals around her the feeling that Keller is some way or another in on it. Keller surges off as Loki pursues him in the emergency clinic, then to a vehicle pursuit outside. Loki loses Keller, however heads towards Keller's high rise and finds the detained Alex. Keller has gone to Holly's, with a utility belt and proposing to do some compensation for his way of behaving. Holly buys cordial and welcomes him in for a tea. Keller goes up against her about the young ladies, yet the lady holds him at gunpoint and powers him to put on cuffs and consume a similar narcotic used to tranquilize Anna and Happiness. At gunpoint, she guides him to an old vehicle outside. She uncovers that she and her better half had been strict individuals, similar to Keller, until their child passed on from malignant growth early in life. Holly and her better half chosen to cause battle on God by making youngsters to vanish without a follow to transform their folks into devils, as confirmed by what Keller had become. Her better half then, at that point, vanished and she gives her best. She arranges Keller to drive gradually and lets him know Alex never contacted the young ladies. The vehicle had been covering a pit. Holly attempts to drive him in and shoots him in the leg. He drops into the opening. She shuts the top and stops the vehicle again over the top. The captain advises Loki to go to Holly's and told her about Alex. With a little spotlight, Keller investigates his prison. He tracks down his little girl's whistle and appeals to God for Anna's security. Loki shows up. Holly goes to a locked space to get Anna. Loki goes into the house and sees an old photograph of Holly's better half in the RV. He then crawls toward a commotion. Holly is infusing the young lady with a needle, and Loki requests she stop. The two of them discharge their weapons. Holly is killed, and an injured, horrendous Loki races the young lady to the medical clinic. The following morning a gauzed Loki peruses a paper. The title says Barry Milland, otherwise known as Alex Jones, has been brought together with his loved ones. Elegance comes in and says Anna will be alright. The Birches and Dovers leave. Elegance says Keller actually hasn't reached her. She understands Keller will be going to prison when gotten. Around evening time, at the Jones house, the CSI specialists say they have discovered a few dead snakes, yet the ground is frozen. They leave for the evening. Loki stays behind for some time then hears a whistle.